Hi Flosstube, it's Janet with Janet Jabber. I'm coming at you with episode 25. This is a channel about cross stitch, so hopefully that's what you're here for. If you're new to this channel, I hope you like, subscribe, comment, stick around, enjoy your time here. If you are coming back at me, thank you for choosing to stop back in with me and see what's going on this week. And speaking of that, let's just jump into updates. Last week I didn't mention that my German Shepherd had to get fixed, so we're doing fine with that. Actually, I played veterinarian assistant and took out her stitches this week at exactly the 10-day mark. So good, healthy. I was hoping it would calm her down, but she's all energy and just wants to play. I have a correction to make. So I mentioned in last week's video, Two Martini Stitcher was doing a leap day start. It's, to be more specific, and I know this is past, but it was a long dog sampler leap day start. So hopefully if you wanted to get on that, you jumped in when you needed to. There was just so many different comments going on in regards to leap year. So I did a leap year start, and I'll talk to you about it when I get into my big old pile. It was not a long dog. But I'm super excited about it. So, and they say I've got 4 years to finish it. As far as the month of February wrap-up goes, I did get my 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic finished. And at the end of the video, we'll talk about my March one. So I wanted to jump in. I got my whole pile. You can kind of see it. It's going to disappear from here. I did have a Lizzie Kate giveaway. I already commented on the commenter, Loretta Henderson. Please get a hold of me if you're seeing that here versus seeing the comment that I had left on you. You will be receiving 2 Lizzie Kate patterns in the mail once I get your information. All right, so let's jump into stitching because that's what we're here for. I'm going to show you a couple pasts because I like to do that. This is a really old one, 2005. I have been changing this out for years. This is a little Lizzie Kate Flip It, the month of March. And this is how it's displayed, hangs on my wall. Ink pen sits here. A little bit about me. I actually have one of those daily rip-off calendars where it has a saying or whatever. And so I start out with a positive thought for the day. I actually, when I rip off yesterday's, I tear a corner of that one off and I write down something I'm grateful for every single day, and I put it in a jar, and at the end of the year I read all my gratefuls. So and it's housed next to this. It's a little display. So there's that. I gotta set that down. That actually has glass in it. So a couple other ones. I know there's a big Borscorn you thing. Hey, Aaron, the blind stitcher. I've been doing these for years. You can do this. It is so much fun. Check out this little Borscorn you. And the little button. I love doing these. I have probably about 6 of them. And it cracks me up because I always self-doubt myself. I'm like, that's hard to do. And then I look back at these ones I've done and they're awesome. There's even beading on that. I don't know if you can tell. I have fun. So there's some Krynic in here and some beading. And because of Aaron, I'm gonna jump in and do another one of those. Tiny Modernist has an elephant one, and I love elephants. So I'm gonna go purchase that one and jump in with you, Aaron, in regards to that. A last one that I have is this little March paw print. If I can remember, this is actually a cat series to where this is the second in it. There's a main chart and then this is a little extra. If I can remember, I will post it in the notes. The funny thing is that Steph from Pam and Steph, she just posted that, I think it was her that was starting to collect these. This is super fun way to display them. I love my kitty cats. They're just part of our life, as you've seen from videos around here. So that's a few pass. I had no finishes this week. I didn't work on any fully finishes this week. It's funny how that just kind of comes in spurts for me. It is what it is. Sometimes I get motivated. So I'm going to jump into this great big pile. I have a plethora of charts that I touched in the last week. And I think I figured something out about myself. I put so much pressure on myself at the beginning of the month to get some goals done that once they're done, then I'm just like, oh, I can touch everything now. And I do that. I should count. Wait. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12. I touched 12 different charts in the last week. And it was so much joy to do that. Now, I'm not mad at myself that I have goals at the beginning of every month because I want those monthly charts done. It's just how I do things. So, speaking of a monthly chart, oh, I didn't. I only halfway got this one out. Everything else is ready for you. Sorry, hold, please. This is my tricky one. This is the Snow Flower Diaries. It's so tricky to show you this chart. The month of March. And I've already started it, and I have about half of the border and one of the little beautiful animals. See, that's what I do. I like to knock this one out at the very beginning of the month. That's just me. I got the itchy nose all of a sudden. All right, so the next one is the one I stitch on every single day. I'm so excited to show you this one because I almost gave up on this. Almost gave up on this one. Live Simply. Even my cover shade is starting to get ratty-tatty, but all right, you'll notice big blocks, the grass, the house, the person. I stitch on this on 25 count Lugana Heritage, and I do this 1/1. And this is where I am. I knocked the grass out. 30 minutes a day through the month of February allowed me to knock the grass out. I have started on the house. There's the door jamb. I have discovered there's a mistake, and I'm not fixing it. The grass on one side is taller than the grass on the other side. I'm just going to make it different in the house. It's going to look, this is my thought process. You know how like in the front of houses, it's just going to look like the grass is taller on one side or something. So in the end, nobody's going to know. Everyone's going to know. I just told you. I tell that to people all the time. Pick out my mistake. Nobody's going to know. All right. My leap year new start. I'm so excited about this. I bought this as a Christmas present to myself through 1884 Stitchery. And it is an Owl Forest embroidery. This is Home Sweet Home. This picture is really faded, but it depicts so much about me. That's the reason I bought it. There's a little girl in the center that's sitting and stitching with a cat next to her. There's cooking utensils. There's tea, there's watering cans, there's sewing. In the perfect day, this is just what I could sit and do. It is stitched on 32 count Belfast Zweigart. Other than that, they don't tell me a color or anything. I tea coffee dyed it because I wanted it to look more grungy. And all I have gotten done on this little baby is the little girl stitching. This is a complete kit, so it came with its own fibers, and it doesn't tell you what they are. It just gives you the symbol. They're variegated. I love it. And, oh, wait. It's housed in Mary's bag. Thank you, Mary. So that's fun, and I will plug it in and plug away with it 4 years, right? 4 years. Next, another New Year start. Not New Year, another March start is the Drawn Threads. This is my very first Drawn Threads, Spot of Spring. And to tell you a little story, I actually have 4 other Drawn Threads that are like gardens, spring, all 4 seasons for the gardens. And when I bought the charts, I didn't know they had all those specialty stitches, and people talk about all the Drawn Threads have those, so I was kind of overwhelmed. And the funny thing is like, I've done specialty stitches. I did these little banner things for my mom way back in the beginning of my stitching years. I actually bought them from a store in Muncie, Indiana that no longer exists. But so anyway, I decided, I found somebody posted this and I thought, oh, that looks like a way just to dip my toe into the drawn thread first. So I bought them, and there are a few specialty stitches here. And yeah. So what do I have here? This is being stitched on 28 count lamb's wool Joblin. I did not tea coffee dye. I did not do anything to it. I have this little tiny start in the corner of the basket and a couple of partial letters. I'll explain why that's just a super tiny start at the end when I talk about my plans, but that looks like a super fun one. It's going to be a lot of changing of colors. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't really into it when I was doing it. So the next one on my pile here is, I've talked to you about it before, the Stitching Book Club, Three Musketeers. I'm on the fence about this. I posted it because I'm on the fence about it. The next part released, so I knocked it out. See, now on here, it looks okay. So in person, not so much. All for one. Do you see that? Now there's two different colorways on this. There's a blue colorway and then this white and gray and yellow colorway that was supposed to be on blue. And what I think is that my blue is just not bright enough. In the end, I'm going to keep stitching, and if I feel like I need to somehow outline those letters, I don't know. I had another thought too, to take like a single thread of something and pop it in there. If you have any ideas, give it to me. This looks good for you. Believe me, in person, it's really hard to see that, but I'm just going to keep going along with it. It's reading the book. Actually, I'm going to be honest, listen to the book and cross-stitching on it. So I think I've mentioned on here before, it lets me knock out some classics that I either have never read, this case, or wanted to revisit. So she's doing 4 books for the year, and I enjoy that a lot. My next one is You Love It. You give me praise about it every time you see it. One Nation by Gone Stitchers. And it is on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha Lugana. I cheated, I looked, but I got it right. I didn't get tongue-tied. I am up to date with 1 more star and 1 more state. I love this thing so much. I'm gonna zoom in. Every one of those stars takes about 30 to 40 minutes, and then the word varies every time, and I just knock out some of the extra depending on what I'm in the mood for. This time I just knocked out what I needed to knock out because I had all the things to stitch. Okay, Julie, look up. If you're not looking, Julie, look up. My friend from the Hoosier Stitchers jumped on this bandwagon for her 30 days of stitching in the month of February. My sister has already finished this. You've heard me say it. I hated it, and I actually think I'm falling in love with it. Chardin Pervaiz, Noel. It was a freebie for Christmas time. I think I know why I was hating it so much, and it was these notes. These notes. So this is all the way at the top, and I believe this is all the way at the bottom. So it's just a narrow little thing. I'm 90% sure that's all the way at the bottom. I'll have a chart to show you because there's no picture. I guess I could go steal my sister. But there's another set of those notes right down here. And I'm thinking about leaving them off and putting the word Noel or something like that in there. Just so maybe I don't have to deal with what I didn't like. But I'm super happy. It was because of Julie. That's why I told her to look up. Because of her stepping into the challenge that I chose this one as my 25th stitching for Christmas that I do every month. So thank you, Julie. I gotta stop saying My next chart is Cinnamon Stars. That is a stitch along on Virtual Stitcher. I have only posted one time because I'm terrible. It is a 28 count toasted coconut. And I struggled with this one this time. I had so much fun the first time I told you. All I did was this great big star here. And then I had to take those things out 2 times because of spacing. So it's probably because of that I was like, but I'll get back to it. This is super, I've wanted to do that for so long. I know I'll jump back in on it. My pile gets smaller here and then it gets wobbly over there. All right, this next one, it's spring stitching time. So we have Country Cottage Needleworks, Dream Big, stitching it on just a tea coffee dyed by me piece of linen. And here you go, I got the carrot done. And I have to tell you, I was on the fence about using this variegated thread for that carrot. And because as you can see, you can barely see the sun. I think it'll pop depending on how I finish it. But I'm super happy about that. Look at that carrot. He looks all like dirty and he just came out of the earth. I love it. I think I have decided, do you see up here is the, these little diamond shapes with the white in them and the green in those. I think I'm going to, well, along the edges, I'll probably put the white one in the middle of all the orange ones, but between every orange one is supposed to be a green. I feel like I'm just going to leave that out because I don't want to do all those single stitches. I don't know. I'll 100% decide when I get done. I actually thought about beading it instead of single stitching it because then I could use that invisible thread and just carry it because you can see through this fabric. I know you can't, but you can see through this fabric. So I'm not going to do the carrying of the threads. I'm not one that you'll ever see showing off the back of her stitches. I mean, I'll show you, but mine are not like gorgeous. So I just finish them off and cover it up. Nobody's going to see. My next one, Stitching with the Sisterlies, is doing a stitch along for this. The Suffrage Act proclaimed. Super fun. I'm stitching this on 32 count Sandcastle Joblin. And I got the brick walk done. Look at that brick walk. Love it. I will be, when I tackle it next, I'll be working up here. I'm a straight line border girl, and then I get in and do the fun. Unless the project seems too taxing, like that one that I stitch on every single day. I've got to knock out a few of those big motifs. Probably it's because there's like 3 of them, but the grass is done. I'm a good girl. I was able to do it. I will continue. The next one is a stitch along. Baby, it's cold out. Here's the chart. Everybody has it. Everybody's seen it. Stitching it on a 28 count Monaco that I tea coffee dyed myself with some gray and tan, and I distressed it. It looks like a dirty shop rag, and I love it. I can't even express how much I love it. I got all the words done on the top. So, and I think my next part on this one is going to be to jump in on the house. I love it, love it, love it. And even though I just said it feels like spring stitching, I am going to continue with this one. Yeah, continue. Oh, I'm getting there, folks. I think this is my last one I stitched on. Okay. I think I've told you the last couple times I've stitched on this that I didn't really care for it. And officially as of last night, I have fallen in love. I am talking to you about Grimm's Fairy Tales. They dropped a new part, and this is the best cover page I can give you. So, yeah, I'm still on the first part, and that's okay, especially since, like, it was a game changer last night to fall in love with it. Look, oh, wait, this is on Bestitch Me's Sea Glass. 18 count, I believe. I don't even write the count, but I'm 90% sure it's 18 count. Look at that stack of animals, and my little cottage is done. These little things here are notes. It's got some back stitching, but officially was digging it last night. So sometimes it just takes a hot minute before you 100% fall in love with it, I guess. That's why I don't like I have a chart that I will be doing that is it's not my most favorite chart to stitch on today, but I'm gonna persevere. It's not like I hate it and I don't want to stitch on it at all. So that's all my stitching. That's all. Seems like a lot of charts, and I'm so happy that I touched all of them. So all right, I'm gonna jump into haul. Super fun. Had to go to Hobby Lobby. Picked up. I think I picked up. Oh, I know what I picked up, and I'm gonna tell you. These project bags, when Vonna does them. Oh, this is a hot mess. Wait, bending down. These project bags, when Vonna does them, it's just basically a gigantic envelope. Well, I have about 25 of these. And I like, because sometimes it's a mess in there. You know, I don't like to see my mess. I like the pretty fabric. That's what I like to see. So I messaged back and forth with her. I met Vonna at a retreat one time about identifying, and this was my idea, and she's like, yeah, go for it. So I put this vinyl, I sew it right into my flap, and then this is a business card that I just pop in and it identifies what my project is. So if you're a person that loves your envelope bags, because these are simple for me to make, now I've got it down, but you struggle with wanting to be able to identify this. There's nothing dangling to where they get caught in the thing. Where I store them, I flip it out, turn it over, put a new one in, whatever you got to do. I will tell you, I didn't know this, and I'm telling you just because people that know already know this, but I did not know this. When I first started doing this to the bags, I struggled stitching them on there, or sewing them on there, and I don't know where I learned this. I probably could have heard it on here somewhere. You have to leave the little piece of paper on it when you sew it for your foot of your sewing machine to be able to grab onto, so it doesn't like get slippery and move and stuff. But anyway, just a thought. Anyway, I had to get some of that because I ran out the last time, and I need to put it on all those bags you saw me stitch. And I had to go over to the cross stitching section, which is of course next to the yarn section, which I'm not a knitter yet. I've already mentioned that I want to. Anyway, these socks were hanging in the yarn section, but they pertain to cross stitching. Too many whips? Not enough. Had to have them. And I didn't just have to have one. I had to have two. Do not ask about my stash. So cute. And I am a girl. I'm telling you, I wear socks a lot. All the time. During seasons that some people are in flip-flops, I'm still wearing socks around. Other than that, I did a little bit of eBay haul. As you have heard me say before, I'm a hands-on design fanatic. So this one popped up. Sorry, it's still in the bag because there's goodies in here and I don't want to like lose things. But Flutter by Garden. And then again with the Pam and Steph influence, Steph did this series, the Hello There. These are just the charts. I still have to get all the buttons, which is quite an investment, but those were super cute when she stitched them, and I'm going to do it too. All right, I have something to share. As we all know that I struggle with my vintage country mocha, there's another one, and I wanted to get it for a potential pattern, and it is a vintage stormy night. So there's another one for me to mess up. Look at this gray. Look at this. It's like, in my world, it's perfect. Just like my vintage country mocha, and on the back, it's solid. So I actually just got this from 123. It does not tell me, well, when you go on there, because I did a little investigation last night, it's just Zweigart. It doesn't tell you, it's not like picture this gloss, blah, blah, blah. It's just Zweigart. And I looked on there because, okay, so I'm like, okay, my tans are covered and my grays are covered. I love this. Is there a white one? So I'm digging around last night, and there was I think it was vintage antique white or something like that. But it wasn't in my 32 counts, and I'm a Lugana person, so whether it exists for that or it was just out, I don't know, but I will continue to watch for that because I really dig those a lot. It's so, I love stitching on it, so yeah. All right, so I did not have any mail this week, but I did realize that I forgot to show this last week, and I want to, just because they're beautiful, I got discombobulated after that doorbell rang last week, so I want to share these this week. So these are the cards that came with my gifts last week. This one is the one from Becky. Beautiful card. Love those flowers. Thank you again, Becky. And the second one is from Trinka. This sass is 100% me and my daughter, and I love it. I don't dress that fancy, but that attitude and sass is 100%, and I love that card. The crazy curly hair is definitely how both of us feel lots of the time. So thank you again. Thank you again. All right, so I'm gonna move on to plans. And this is gonna be quick and long all in the same time. That sounds weird, but it is what it is. Over on my Instagram, if you don't follow me there, you should. I try to be very active there with like get to know yous and what am I doing. I need to improve, but I try to do better. So right now, and I participated this in August of last year, and they're doing it again now. And what am I talking about? The hashtag Common Threaded Stitcher, where there's a prompt every single day, and you get to know each other. I actually met a few followers that way, and it's really lovely to realize there's other people around you, or there's somebody that's halfway across the country, but you have similar interests and you click. This internet, this social media, it makes those distances not. I'm still dipping my toes in the virtual stitchers because I can't always get on, but I love the fact that literally you can go live and sit and stitch, very similar to my meetups or going to a cross stitch event, to where you can just talk about what you love. Cross stitching, get to know each other, say, know that somebody cares that you're sick for the day, or that you've got family that's something going on, or to enjoy your happiness in life. So hop over to Instagram if you're doing that. Hashtag Common Threaded Stitcher. Jump in, tell your story. So far, there's been 2 prompts. Introduce yourself, which I did. I am 48 years old, a mother of 3, husband. I got myself 3 dogs and 2 cats. I mean, just like kind of the basics. You don't have to get into the crazy nitty gritty. Prompt 2 was, how did you start cross stitching? And I showed a picture of my baby girl, and I started cross stitching because of her. So if you've heard this before, sorry, saying again, but my daughter was born. I was a single mom, and it allowed me the ability to deal with some of that. My famous thing that I say to everyone is, all she did was sleep, eat, and poop. I was bored out of my mind. I was a go, run girl, and my older sister cross-stitched at the time, still does. You hear me talk about her all the time. I love her. She keeps me sane in this crazy family. But cross-stitching has been there for me through so much. And anyway, I love it. So what else am I doing in the month of March? It's March Madness. And if you've heard about that anywhere on social media, not just the football, actually, not football. What am I talking about? Basketball. See, I don't watch it, but I'm going to participate in this. Steel City Stitchers has a hashtag. I will put it here. And they released this bracket right here, and you can kind of do it however you want. I actually I'm trying not to lose my entire planner here. I actually have gone through, and there's 1 whip and 1 new start for the first 8 days, and then like 1 and 2, I figure we're gonna do a vote, and it's gonna advance to 3 and whatnot. Blah, blah, blah. So how am I doing this? Is so the first and the second, I stitched on one of them. I stitched on Dream Big, my big carrot, and the second one was Spot of Spring. I just barely got a little bit into it, and I posted those both on Instagram. Today, I am going to post as soon as my daughter wakes up and teaches me how, I am going to post a pool to decide for my Instagram followers are going to decide which one goes on to the next bracket. And in the end, I'm going to have an FFO. Knowing me, I will have multiple ones, but just a fun little way to interact with people and move this along. So if you do follow me on Instagram, watch for a poll in my stories, but I'm probably going to do a combination because not everybody listens to those stories. So if I'm going to tally the stories total, and then I'm also going to put it in as a normal post, and people can put whether they want 1 or 2, 1 or 2, 1 or 2, and the total between the two after a 24-hour period will decide what moves on. So sorry about the jingling. You can hear my dog itching. And the next thing is, what else am I doing in the month of March? My acrostic from 24 Hours of Cross Stitching. I've got it filled out. Measure time is what it is. And I'm not going to show these to you because this video is getting long enough, but I'm going to run through this real quick. So for March, Sunflower Diaries. Showed that to you. For E, Even Women Count, Suffrage Act. For A, American Flag, One Nation. For S, Spot of Seasons, by the Drawn Thread, Spring and Summer, S. U, You Will Be Missed. Baby, it's cold out. R, Rabbit, from Dream Big. E, Enjoy the Season, from My Christmas List. I gotta have me a Christmas and a Halloween every season, or every month. T, Time for the Party. T, Time for the Party. BYOB, that is my Halloween stitch. I Love Fall, Cinnamon Stars. M, This is a new start, and Fresh Coast Stitches, I'm coming at you. We're doing this together. Maps of Hawk Run Hollow. I'm excited about that. And E, Everything I Like to Do. Home Sweet Home, my Leap Day start. That's it. That's my acrostic for the month of March. Super excited. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you come join me on Instagram for the fun this month. I'm super excited. I'm super excited for the Common Threaded Stitcher and the polls that I'm going to be doing for the first time. This is something new for me. Other than that, this coming weekend on March 8th, 8th, right? 8th. I don't have a calendar around me. Sunday, March 8th, is my meet and greet at the Meet and Stitch at the hospital here locally. So if you live anywhere near the Fort Wayne area or you feel like traveling that day, shoot me a message on anywhere. Instagram, leave a message in the comments. My email address is in here, janetjabber@gmail.com. I would love to meet you. Get out. I don't know if there's any snowstorms coming. Get out and join us before life gets crazy and we can't get around during the summer. So anyway, that's all I got for you. So I'm going to double check in. Yep. So I'm going to tell you to keep stitching, enjoy life, and I'm going to send you much love. Thank you.